fight him off. Fortune favors the bold. Two fight as one. Hope you win. Magnificent. Teamwork makes the dream work. A black shadow bars your path. As it turns its yellow eyes on you, your party readies their weapons. Fight him off. Magnificent. Two fight as one. Magnificent. You find a faint humanoid stain where the shadow once was. Hope you win. teamwork makes the dream work. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. You can hear the desires ridiculing you. You ignore their scorn and continue forward. It looks to be waiting for someone to sit upon it. Within the throne room, the Queen of Woe awaits. The Queen reveals herself to be none other than Laddie. She is the undisputed ruler of this domain. Indeed, this world. Her voice is husky, almost as if it had been... Her voice is husky, almost as if it had been swallowed by the stormy seas and echoes within your heads. She tells you that in the land of woe, greed is both grand and glamorous. For stealing the desires of my people, I sentence you covetous intruders to death, she decrees. The impact sends you flying. By the time you look up, you realize that the entire area is covered by a heart scar. This looks bad, Blight remarks in a trembling voice as he gets to his feet. A shadow, larger than any you've seen before, emerges from the heart scar, summoned by the Queen's screams. The shadow roars, its voice powerful enough to shake the castle itself before lunging at you. Come on, you got this. Two fights one. Fortune favors the bold. Fortune favors the bold. Magnificent. Excellent. Unable to maintain its shape, the gigantic shadow begins to sway. This is it, you shout, and raise your sword in sync with Laddie's magic. But the queen appears and blocks your attack before it lands. This shadow is a manifestation of Laddie's greatest doubts. The queen worries over what will happen to Laddie's heart if that shadow should disappear. The queen decides to ask you a few questions to dispel the doubts at the heart of the domain's crisis. Wrong, the Queen says with a laugh. How pitiful that you don't even know Laddie's likes and dislikes, she scoffs, before moving on to the next question. No, no, the Queen exclaims with a laugh. How cold-hearted you are not to know what she fears, she chides before moving on to the next question. You have no idea, do you? The Queen scoffs. The Queen's desire to eliminate you is readily apparent. You don't know if there was a correct answer among the ones she gave you, but she has proven her point. Perhaps you don't know Laddie as well as you should by now. I cannot leave Laddie's heart in your hands, she roars. That raging voice transforms into a tidal wave that rushes toward you. Swallowed by the wave, the phantom onyx maiden and her attendant vanish. You're pulled under the tow only seconds later. When you come to, you find yourself in a familiar spire. It seems you were expelled from the heart's domain by the Queen. You see Laddie snuggled up to Lack near the altar. You decide to go check on them. Lack lies there limply, like a stuffed animal without its filling. The self-proclaimed spirit risked its life to save you. If you had been swallowed by the wave, your consciousness may never have returned. You give Lack your heartfelt thanks for saving you. Lack trembles as it tries to speak. Laddie gazes upon the injured Lack with concern. It's coming, Lack proclaims in a faint voice. And then, everything falls quiet. An odd energy fills the spire. You place Lack upon the altar and head outside to find the source. The injured Lack rests upon the altar. You know that returning to the heart's domain now won't be possible. The sea falls eerily still, almost as if afraid of something. You realize that the strange energy you felt earlier is not only in the spire, but blankets the entire isle. Feeling a tap on your shoulder, you turn to see Laddie as pale as a sheet. She points, and when you turn to see what she's staring at, you find your field of vision filled by a monster so big that it pierces the clouds. It's raging toward you, tearing through the sea as it does. You can't believe your eyes, but you know you can't stand still. We have to evacuate everyone, you say, then make for the village. So the beast to end it all has finally reared its head, the old man remarks, calm despite the impending danger. Aside from the odd crying child, nothing seems amiss in the village. Nobody seems the slightest bit bothered by the monster. Omega Village, which has been without a maiden for years, seems overly accepting of its fate. You decide to speak with the mayor to learn how you might evacuate the people. You only hope he can be swayed. It's been ages since you've seen the mayor, and yet he averts his eyes the moment you enter. Just like the other villagers, he seems to have accepted his fate. But why? You ask him why everyone is stubbornly just waiting for everything to come to an end. Because that is this village's fate, Greeth answers simply. You ask him if there is a way to evacuate the village, but he tells you there is no way off the island. You ask the mayor about the giant monster. He says it is called the Isle Eater. According to the Maiden's myth, the calamitous beast has appeared since times of old to devour islands. You have learned nothing for all your effort. Perhaps feeling the same, Laddie rushes to the village entrance. You ignore Greeth, who tries to stop you both, and chase after Laddie. It seems unlikely that the villagers will flee the island, which leaves you with no choice but to slay the monster yourselves. You and Laddie board the Bon Vent and point the prow toward the Isle Eater. The calamitous beast towers before you. Its sheer size makes you realize that there was truth to the myth. To save the village, you have no choice but to fight it here and now. You know it's reckless, but still grip your sword tightly. A light flashes in the sky, and two figures appear. The Crimson Maiden Lavia and her attendant Gladio from Heroes Dominion. They claim to have seen the monster during a trade expedition and rushed over. You were joined unexpectedly by the Crimson Maiden and her attendant. With them, you may be able to save the island from disaster. You make for the monster's head and raise your sword up to the sky. All right, now to rid the... Excellent. Two fight as one. Magnificent. 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 Fortune favors the bold. Magnificent. Magnificent. No matter how fiercely you assail the beast, it doesn't stop it from advancing toward the island. Your allies are fighting their hardest, and yet it's still not enough. A gigantic cannonball sails through the air, crushing the monster's tentacles with a muffled crunch. You see that a single ship has fired the cannonball, and upon it, Greeth is at the helm, instructing the Omega Islanders to fire shot after shot at the beast. For Laddie, the villagers shout in unison. You feel your heart warm at those words. You had thought the villagers hated Laddie and wanted her gone. So why would they help you? Regardless of the reason, you can't deny how heartened you feel. You and Laddie look at each other and nod. You grip your sword with renewed strength, determined to cut through the threat, binding the Isle to its dreaded fate. Fortune favors the bold. Yikes. Together, you manage to slay the calamitous beast and watch as it sinks back into the sea. Once you've celebrated your victory, you and your allies turn your ships in their respective directions and sail off. Grieth stands among the blooming flowers in the center of the village. Grieth hands his daughter a book. It's the same one that you found in his house, the diary of Laddie's mother. Laddie opens it with an uneasy expression. Her eyes fill with tears as they pass over the words. Within its pages are words of love, a deep and heartfelt love that the previous maiden held for her daughter. It also contains words of anguish at having to burden her own child with the island's fate. Grieth tells you that he refused to let Laddie sacrifice herself in the same way. Your eyes widen in realization. So does that mean? Grieth tells you that a maiden's power comes from her heart. So everyone treated her cruelly in hopes of disheartening her. I'm so sorry you had to endure that, he says, deeply apologetic. They knew that if Laddie were freed from being a maiden, the island would be destroyed. But all the islanders wished to spare Laddie, even if it meant losing their homes and their lives. It was all a lie, one that the village made Laddie believe for her own good. Laddie, now knowing the depth of love that her parents and fellow islanders had for her, jumps into her father's arms and cries. For the first time you hear it, the voice that Laddie buried deep within her heart. A soft breeze blows through the village, like a gentle blessing upon the two of them, and carries countless petals into the sky. Laddie's innocent cries echo through the village, amidst the drifting flower petals and the ominous clouds that heralded the end, give way to a bright blue sky. Welcome home, Grieth greets with a smile, and suggests Laddie rest a bit inside. When Laddie says she is staying at your abode, however, Grieth's smile falls from his face, and he narrows his eyes at you. Come visit any time, the woman says. She promises to prepare all of Laddie's favorite fruits. Mama says we can play together again, the little girl exclaims cheerfully. This flower matches Laddie perfectly, the young man murmurs to himself with a smile. I'm so sorry, the old man says sincerely. You lead the party back to your home. You beckon everyone inside, inviting them to rest their weary bones. You rush to the altar, worried about Lack, only to find it lazing atop the altar and yawning. When the self-proclaimed spirit notices you, it immediately changes its tune. Oh, the pain, it groans. But it's too late. For the first time ever, Laddie calls out Lack's name and hugs it tightly, rubbing her cheek against it. Lack's expression reads of surprise, pain, and happiness from within Laddie's arms. It appears all your allies are together once again. You decide that it's time to venture back to the heart's domain and put an end to that giant shadow. But you mustn't be hasty. Approach the altar only when you're ready. Oh, yeah, you can't cross whirlpool cards. You come across a masked youth, fallen in the depths of the forest. Sunlight filters through the trees and partially illuminates her form. Though she has breathed her last, there is a certain peace in her unmoving face. You and your allies dig a modest grave for her, and then leave the place. How may I help you? The proprietor inquires. Will that be all? The proprietor asks. Don't hold back. Teamwork makes the dream work. Magnificent. 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 Your final battle will not be easily won. Are you certain you want to continue? His eyes silently urge you to thoroughly prepare for the fight ahead. You tell the receptionist that you intend to come back later, and he nods in understanding. Steel yourselves, warriors, and speak to me whenever you're ready. Here to stay the night? The innkeeper asks the moment you set foot in the inn. The tournament, emerge victorious, and you'll receive this fabulous You nod, prepared for the fight ahead, when the receptionist slowly rises to his feet. Then let the battle begin, he says, taking his weapon. Fight him off. Teamwork makes the dream work. Magnificent. 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 Perhaps I went too hard. We can have a rematch when you return, he says. The tournament, emerge victorious, and you'll receive this fabulous prize, he tells you. No, I'm not ready yet, you reply. Then leave the arena. You nod, prepared for the fight ahead, when the receptionist slowly rises to his feet. Then let the battle begin, he says. Fight him off. Magnificent. Excellent. Magnificent. 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 Yikes. Excellent. Fortune favors the bold. Magnificent. 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 I haven't had so much fun in ages, the receptionist exclaims, grinning from ear to ear despite his defeat. As the strongest warriors in the realm, I believe this belongs to you, he says, handing you your prize. The man takes your hand in his and gives it a firm shake. The arena is always open. Come back anytime. Come back for a rematch, have you? The receptionist asks. You shake your head and say you'll come back another day, but are unable to ignore the slightly disappointed look on his face. You turn to look at your allies and receive a stout nod from Laddie. Laddie waves her staff and chants, showing off an excellent imitation of the self-proclaimed spirit. But when she sees your slack-jawed stare, she fidgets. "I wanted to try it once," she confesses. Lack, his sole chance to shine, stolen, chants in a disheartened voice and leads you all to the heart's domain. You find yourselves back in the land of Woe's throne room. Now, it's time to put an end to that shadow. "So you've made your decision," the Queen says to Laddie in a defeated voice. "I have," Laddie answers resolutely, having finally weathered the storms of her past. It seems the Queen no longer has reason to resist. You decide it's time to finish off the dying shadow beside her. The shadow's true form is the unfulfilled desire in Laddie's heart. Her part to play now over, the Queen gazes upon Laddie with a serene expression. The relics in your and Laddie's hands radiate a dazzling light, and the final scar on Laddie's heart begins to heal. With the final scar healed, Laddie's heart's domain has returned to normal at long last. "Go on, get," Lack exclaims enthusiastically, and the both of you head off. Black floats in the air, its mouth gently opening and closing. The Queen tells you of a secret path at the rear of the castle. She says you can use it to leave the land of woe. You decide not to take the path, but return via the route you came. "Your Majesty, you have a guest," he announces as you draw near. The soldier speaks as you pass by. "Mind your manners before the Queen," he cautions quietly. The soldier stands at attention. Talking to him gets no response. "Quiet before the Queen," he says. The soldier who once stood in your way gazes at Laddie. "My queen," he says with a bow, then moves aside. After looking between you and Laddie for a moment, he steps aside. "I see you've brought a guest today, Your Majesty," he says. "I always get lost around here," one soldier gripes. "We can't make it too easy to get to the Queen, now can we?" the other reasons. You speak to him, but get no response. When you listen closely, you hear him snoring lightly. "It's so peaceful here," he says contentedly, then lets out a small yawn. "I wonder if the Queen is feeling better," he ponders with an uncertain look on his face. "Everyone looks so alive after being freed from their desires," he says with a grin. The old man offers you a plate to join the feast. He claims to feel best when his stomach is a little less than full. "Hey there," the man greets with a refreshing smile. He claims to have found a new lease on life after taking up exercise. "One more time," Lavia insists, challenging Gladio once again. The woman smiles as she writes a letter to a pen pal. "I don't need to be rich to be happy," she says. The man is reading a self-improvement book. It appears he's realized that true change comes from within. Before your eyes stretches a pure and peaceful domain. The leaves rustle in the breeze, and the waves gently ebb and flow, as if to show the peace that has come to Laddie's heart. Perched atop a nearby hill, Laddie beckons you over. Perhaps she wishes to give you a tour of her own heart. You can see white birds flying around the spire in the distance. Your eyes follow the birds until eventually landing upon Laddie's smile, and you reflect on your journey. The first time you came to this place, the entire world was cloaked in black, and Laddie couldn't utter a single word. You were drawn from your thoughts when you feel Laddie tug on your sleeve. She says that there's still much more to see. Beautiful trees line the restored forest, and butterflies float about as you stroll through, admiring the greenery. A butterfly lands on Laddie's fingertip. As you watch her quietly rejoice, you think back on your travels. When you visited the nearby town, your feelings toward Laddie were already... While you're deep in thought, Laddie taps your shoulder. "We should be getting back to Lack," she says with a smile. Wow, you've come a long way. Would you like to go back now? You hasten back to Lack's side in the land of woe. Beneath the light of the stained glass window, you and Laddie stand at the spirit's side. "Are you ready?" Lack asks, and Laddie nods. In the throne room, where her desires once lurked in the shadows, Laddie bears her heart to you. In a trembling whisper, Laddie makes a bold confession. It appears that over the course of your journey, she has developed feelings for you. But having been born a sacrificial maiden, she suppressed those feelings, fearing they would only be a burden to you. Laddie stares down at the ground as she awaits your answer, and you decide to respond to her confession in equal earnest. She gazes up at you with wide eyes, as if disbelieving her own ears. You can see tears threatening to overflow in her eyes. A transparent light begins to overflow from Laddie's staff. It's as radiant as the glow from the Maiden's relics. According to Lack, now that her heart's domain has been restored, she can become a true maiden. With that, she can now save Omega Isle. Your journey's purpose fulfilled, you and Laddie look at each other with an ephemeral smile. There's something odd about Lack's voice. And not just that. Cotton begins to spill out from its insides as it takes the form of a human. Something's not right. When you attempt to speak to Lack, you are struck by a tremor large enough to shake the world itself. The palace begins to crumble, and Laddie is swallowed by the fissure that opens in the throne room. Your fingers graze hers as you try to grab her, but Laddie is just beyond your reach, and she tumbles into the abyss. The furious, roiling seas have swallowed all but a small strip of land, the last vestige of a drowning heart, desperate for rescue. The heart's domain is but a shadow of its former self, devastated by the awesome power of the tsunami that nearly swallowed it whole. Lacks transformation, the quake that threw you to your knees. Laddie, as the earth swallowed her. You shake your head to free yourself from the harrowing visions. Laddie. You have to find Laddie. The wind changes direction so abruptly, you can't help but feel it's telling you something, urging you to the northwest. Tempting though it may be to wander, this isn't where you're headed, so you turn around. You stop before a gash in the earth, filled with rushing, muddied water. You see no way of crossing to the other side. In an instant, a bridge appears over the surging rapids. You catch sight of a figure on the opposite side of the chasm. Is this their handiwork? A lone woman approaches you as you alight from the bridge. She bears more than a passing resemblance to Laddie. You ask her to state her name, but she says not a word. A smile tugs at the corners of her lips. At last, she speaks. Her voice is soft and calm. She informs you that she is the former Maiden of Omega Isle, which makes her Laddie's mother. She studies you for a time. A sense of relief plays across her face as she whispers, "Yes, I can trust you with her." The woman begins walking, slowly enough that you believe she means for you to follow. Might she be leading you to Laddie? Laddie's mother speaks of her daughter as you walk down the road. Laddie has long felt isolated, she says, having succeeded her mother, only to be driven from the village. Traveling with you, however, taught her how to open up once more. You've saved my child, and I cannot thank you enough, she says with a warm smile. Laddie's mother stops and extends a finger northward. Laddie cries out for your help from the spire, she says gravely. You see a towering, crooked structure in the center of the heart's domain. You begin walking toward it, praying all the while that no harm has befallen Laddie. You see a very familiar face when you arrive at the spire gate. Oh, thank goodness you've made it, Greeth says with no small amount of relief. That relief, however, is short-lived, as you take notice of countless eyes peering at you from the shadows. Laddie's parents stand between you and the shadows, urging you to press on ahead while they buy you time. They square up to face the encroaching darkness. Shoulder to shoulder, they look like the many maidens and their attendants you've met along your journey. Chest tight with sorrow, you trust them to their task and fight your way into the spire. A twisted version of the Spirit Spire looms before you, emptied of the memories of your many visits. You hear a wail of anguish as you push the heavy door open. Was that Laddie? Yes, it must have been. It's all right, Laddie. I'm here, you say in a soft, soothing voice. Laddie's gaze meets yours. Her anguished, fearful expression gives way to relief. The two of you embrace, as if trying to forget the short yet all too long time you were forced to spend apart. Laddie's tears subside, and she regains her composure. You move to punish Lack for destroying the heart's domain, but Laddie takes firm hold of your sleeve. Even after all this, she seems to trust it, to believe there is more to its situation than meets the eye. Lack awaits atop the spire. Hoping to learn why it's doing this, the two of you journey upward.